That's me. I'm the one for you.
Here.
Our next guest got her start at Dollywood. She was playing the part of Little Dolly in the stage production show called Paradise Road. It was an amazing show. People are constantly begging for it to come back to the park. She then went on to become a full-time entertainer at the Country Tonight Theater in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. But from there, she took her career to Hollywood, where she came in 5th in the 12th season of American Idol, for which this town I know is amazingly proud of this woman. She has performed all over the world, numerous times on the Grand Ole Opry, and recently starred in a faith-based film called Running From My Roots, for which I'm pretty sure she wrote the title song.
How did we get this girl?
The film also stars Dina Carter. She's amazing, and she's gorgeous, and we love her. Please welcome to our stage,
our little screen, our little room here,
Janelle Arthur. Woo. Hi.
Oh my goodness, Janelle. How are you, dear?
That was so sweet. Thank y'all for what you said about me. I so appreciate y'all having me on here.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
so glad to have you.
It's not sweet. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
We didn't, it's not like I had to dig deep to like build you up. It's there.
Thanks for saying it. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. So before I ask the questions that everyone else wants to know, I'm going to ask the question I want to know.
Well, what are you going to ask?
Well, you knew my husband long before I did.
Yes.
In Paradise Road. What's that?
I was like 8 years old, right, Jonathan? I think I was
correct. Yes, and I think I was 10.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Clearly not. But I'm curious though, we're about to have a kid, and you were a kid when you worked with him.
Yes.
Well, was he nice to you? Do you think he'll be a good dad?
Of course. Yes.
Oh, perfect answer.
Great dad. Yes, and he will also, I remember seeing Jonathan backstage teaching one of the other girls I worked with. You taught Jennifer some on guitar.
Oh,
so I just imagine you like teaching your baby like how to play instruments and stuff like that. I think y'all are going to be great parents for sure.
I hope they are better musicians than I am. But thank you. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. I hope that was the truth.
No, it was. I remember
that you didn't just feel pressured to give a nice answer.
It's all good. It's all the truth.
Was that your very first job, doing that show at Dollywood?
Yeah, that was my first job for sure. I mean, it was, I had started singing on stage quite some time before that, probably about 4 years before that. And I auditioned for a show kids choir, and I was so sad because I didn't get it. And my mom knew how sad I was, and so she saw in the newspaper, I think it was, that Dollywood they were holding auditions. So she called the number that they gave, and she said, "I know that we've never really seen kids in your shows at Dollywood, but are you for some reason wanting to hire kids?" And they said, "Yeah, actually we were looking to hire one little girl to portray a young Dolly Parton." And so just the chances of that, that was, pretty crazy, how it all just kind of fell together. And she said, "Well, can my daughter come and audition?" And they said, "Of course." So that's it. Yeah.
And thank goodness they did.
I love that so much. It is funny. It's something that the three of us all have in common is we've all been performing professionally since we were kids.
Yeah.
I did my first professional show. I was 10. I think Jonathan's got us beat though.
Well, considering that I was only 10 when she was 8, I mean,
he was 4.
Yeah, I was 4.
Yeah. It is something to grow up in this industry. Like, I know I've absolutely treasured that being my life story. And I can only imagine for you how that has just felt and been as far as like the trajectory of your career.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I mean, I had many years when people, they would ask me like, "Well, are you able to actually be a kid?" And I'm just thinking like, because I was in public school, but I had to like get my work ahead of time sometimes. And then I homeschooled high school. So, it was interesting because they would say that to me, and I just always remember thinking, no, I'm living like my best childhood ever.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting to do what I love to do. And I had parents that were willing to, take me to Pigeon Forge that was an hour away from our hometown. And, it was really special. And I wouldn't trade those years for anything. And it taught me so much about being on stage and dealing with things that go wrong on stage and how to, not show that to the audience. And, you think about working at Dollywood when you're 8 years old, you do a show and go ride a roller coaster and come back and do a show. Sounds like a good childhood to me. Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I loved working at
Country Tonight.
Yeah, I loved working at Country for 7 years, and learned a ton because I was there, the longest, and just learned so much being in Pigeon Forge. It really helped me with being on American Idol because I had a crazy schedule and I was pretty much used to that.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder for your first song that I'm hoping you'll sing for us, will you maybe do something that you did on American Idol?
Sure, I would love to. Yeah,
Will you
yeah.
tell us about it though, because I want to know the inspiration. Well, I want to tell everyone the song. I think we're thinking the same song.
Yes.
It was one of your best performances, in my opinion. I still get chills thinking about it. I have watched the replay on the clip on YouTube over and over. I'd love to know your inspiration behind that arrangement. And yeah, just tell us about that whole experience.
Well, it's interesting because, of course, the Supremes sang it. That's the version that most people know, is the version of this song that the Supremes did. And then eventually Kim Wilde did a version of this song in the 80s. And I had a karaoke machine, and I was just jamming out to that Kim Wilde version of You Keep Me Hanging On. I was about 14 years old at the time. And I just, for some reason, I guess a lot of it was my production background, just hearing different types of ways that things can be done and songs can be, sung and everything and arranged. So I started playing around with this, but I wasn't playing guitar yet. So I asked my uncle, I said, listen, this is what I hear. I went up to his house the next day. I was like, I really want to do a country-ish version of You Keep Me Hanging On by the Supremes, and then, Kim Wilde. So he and we figured it out. And then honestly, like the first time that I ever played it on a big stage was on American Idol. So it is a Motown song, but we had to do a Motown song. And I was crazy because the schedule was just nuts. So I couldn't really think straight sometimes. So thank the Lord for mamas, because my mom actually said, well, you're doing a Motown song. I said, I'm thinking about doing I Heard It Through the Grapevine or whatever. And she said, Janelle, you have to do your version of You Keep Me Hanging On.
And Mama was right.
And so I was like, yeah, I totally forgot about that. And so got to do that on the show, and it was a big moment for me. I will say I was like really nervous that night too. So, but it was fun.
Will you perform it for us now?
Of course.
I'm like so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, with You Keep Me Hanging On, Janelle Arthur.
Set me free. Why don't you, baby, get out of my life? Why don't you, baby? 'Cause you don't really love me. You just keep me hanging on. Why do you keep coming around? Oh, playing with my heart. But don't you be a man about it. Oh, let me make a brand new start. Why don't you let me get over you the way you gotten over me? Yeah, set me free. Why don't you, babe, get don't you, babe? Ooh, 'cause you don't really love me. Yeah. You just keep me hanging on. Ooh, no, you don't really want me. Yeah. You just keep me hanging on. Set me free, why don't you, baby? Get out of my life. Why don't you, babe? No, you don't love me. Just keep me hanging on. Oh, you keep me hanging. Oh.
Wow. Oh, my
I'm
goodness
so-
gracious.
I don't think I breathed that entire time.
She was holding me like this during their whole song. She's like, "Are you hearing this?" Yes, I'm hearing this. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, you know, that was amazing.
That was incredible.
Oh.
Thank you.
Good Lord.
You know, I have to say, and I've watched your career since you were a little child, but getting to see you like this and just thinking about where we both were and then seeing you grow into this just amazing performer, it just blows me away. And I feel so honored to have been a part of that journey in some way. Man, thank you for doing that. That was just awesome. Wow.
Thanks so much.
I have like a million other questions for you, and they've all gone out the window because I'm stunned. No, it's true though. Golly. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get myself together.
Take a sip of water there.
You're so funny. I'm gonna get some too.
Do. And I am curious. You know, we asked Mark and we mentioned it a little bit. How has this pandemic impacted you and your career at this time?
Well, you know, in some ways it's been crazy. Like I had to cancel quite a few shows, and then there were some shows that, you know, you hoped that you would book, and then, you know, it's not going to happen just because of what's going on. So the industry, I mean, it's shut down. The only thing that we can kind of do at this point, we can still have writing sessions, whether that's, you know, virtually or in person if people feel comfortable. And, you know, but as far as playing out, we're very limited as to what we can do. I am booking, though, as we're calling it, the back porch tour with my friend Jordan Rayner. And we're going to people's back porches or backyards so that it's, you know, so people feel comfortable during this time. And that's going to be this fall. So if you want to book us at your house, we're literally driving to Oklahoma and Texas and Georgia. So we're even willing to go out of state if you'd be, you know, open to it and feel comfortable. So
folks, take advantage of this.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo our back deck. Okay. That's great.
We'll come on out. We'll do a show for y'all too.
Oh my gosh. That sounds
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I love how, you know, we all are kind of trying to get creative, and there are some that don't have that ability, right? That capability to get creative and find other ways to just make it work. So I love that you're doing that. And I really mean it, folks. This is a big deal that she's doing this.
It absolutely is.
To have that sort of intimacy, like a house concert, that's a big deal. Anyway.
So it's kind of what we can do, and we can get in the studio some too.
Yeah.
I've been just kind of cutting some demos and everything. Because, you know, you don't have to be around a lot of people to do stuff like that. And yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on these last few months.
That's awesome. It's inspiring too.
Yes, it is.
So I'm hoping you'll do another song for us.
Of course, yes.
Will you tell us a little bit about what you're going to do, what song, and again, give us the story. I love the story.
Yeah, so this song I wrote with Jen Stegall and Brian Mayer. So this was not my latest single, because I just released a single yesterday. So if anyone wants to check it out, you need to look that up. It's called Chasing Ghosts. But the girl that I wrote this with, one of my co-writers, she actually produced the song and the music videos on CMT. She came in with this idea that said, I can find my own white horse. And, it's just this thought of, we're so conditioned as we grow up that we think we need to depend on outside forces to create our happiness. And we don't ever just take it upon ourselves to say, I'm gonna take life and do my best and just be happy with where I am. And so that's kind of what this song means for me. And yeah, it's called White Horse.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Janelle Arthur singing White Horse.
I grew up believing in fairy tales just like all the other girls did. And I've lived long enough now to know Prince Charming ain't always who he says he is. Ooh, if happy ever after is the only thing I'm after, I can find my own white horse. Don't need no one to save my day. I can find my own white horse. Right away, right away, right away. Once upon a time, true love's kiss was everything that I was waiting for. Ooh, so I kissed a frog or two and I left a glass shoe, but he can keep it. I don't need it anymore. 'Cause I can find my own white horse. Don't need no one to save my day. I can find my own white horse. And right away, right away, right away, yeah, into the sunset. Oh, I ain't afraid to take the reins, and right away, I can find my own white horse. I don't need no one to save my day. Yeah, I can find my own white horse. And right away, yeah, into the sunset. Yeah, into the sunset. I grew up believing fairy tales just like all the other girls.
Oh, that was amazing.
I love that song.
Thank you.
Janelle, thank you so much for being with us today, for being one of our very first guests on this show.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you guys, and thank y'all for doing stuff like this, because honestly, like you're saying, we got to get creative, and this is going to give a lot of artists some opportunities to get out there and be heard.
I hope
Thank
so. And you are so welcome. But I was just telling Jonathan, we've been doing these Facebook Live concerts, and this is so much better than an hour and a half of us because we get entertained.
Oh no, y'all, okay, just y'all. I'm like, oh yeah, it's so much better.
I'm sitting here just
thinking you had other people on your Facebook Live. I'm like, this is great on YouTube. It's perfect.
Yeah, we're excited, and we really, we're hoping that our next episode will be 2 weeks from now. But with baby on the way, we don't know if the show will come first or baby will come first.
Or if baby will be during the show, at which point that tip jar is going to need to fill just a little bit higher. Oh, goodness. I just have to say, we had Mark Wills. He's a country legend. And then we've got you, and you represent country music so well as to what country music should be. And I love that we've got this bridge here between this legend here and you.
Oh, thank you.
representing what country music is. And it's just so crucial for this time. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Gosh.
So
Thank you.
how can people keep up with you?
Well, I'm on all social media platforms, because I have to be. I am on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and it's me from the blue check. So that's because sometimes people get confused. And so if you see the verification check, that's me. Other than my Twitter, I don't think it's verified anymore because I messed up. I did something wrong on there. So
We don't even do Twitter, so
Yeah, we stay away
kudos.
from Twitter as much as we
I
can.
don't really do much Twitter at all, really. I tweet. I'll retweet stuff every now and then, but yeah, I love to communicate with my fans. Love to keep in touch with them. I've kept up with some people that honestly saw me in Pigeon Forge and also watched me on American Idol 8 years ago. So
That was
8
not that
years
long ago. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yes. So, that's why, I would not be able to communicate with so many great people who support my music and actually appreciate what I do if it weren't for social media and things like this. So y'all reach out to me anytime.
That's right. Book her for those backyard concerts.
That's
man.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Janelle, I could talk to you all day.
And I could listen to you all day.
So many questions.
This is perfect.
But we're getting the wrap it up symbol.